see you, they gon' see me. An accomplice we will be. We will be one love. Yeah. We gon' last forever, babe. One love. I don't want another lover, babe.
Hey guys, I'm back with another video. You're probably wondering what I'm wearing and why I'm wearing it. This is a sleep test that I have to wear 2 nights in a row. I have a little thing under my shirt right here, and it's a monitor. So basically, I'm gonna turn it on right before I go to sleep. I'm gonna do that tonight, and I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And the reason I'm doing this is because my tonsils are really big, and sometimes I can't breathe at night, so I have to wear this so that they can monitor my oxygen, and then I have to send it back. So I guess this will determine as to whether or not I get my tonsils taken out, so just bear with me. Basically, this video is going to be about the questions that you guys asked me. So this is going to be, yes, a Q&A. I wrote them all down because, of course, I'm using my phone to record this video. And there's like 28 questions, so hopefully this video is not too long. And let's get started. Question 1. How did I name Aliyah? Honestly, like, what I did was I went on the internet and I searched up a whole bunch of names that I wrote down the ones that I thought were like unique and really cute. And so I had like a whole bunch of names, girl names, and I also had boy names, but that was before I found out the gender. And so I went and talked to my mom about all the names that I had picked out, and it was getting close to the end of my pregnancy. So I was trying to hurry up and find a name for her. So one by one, I read off all the names off the list, and my mom, she didn't even like any of them, and the only one that we both agreed on was Aliyah. And we were kind of like matching up the first name with the last name and seeing if it went together, and Aliyah turned out to be the only one that sounded right. So I had not officially picked out her name until I was actually in the hospital, and they gave me the paperwork to like fill out her name and all this other stuff. So I was just like, well, Aliyah is the only one left, so I'll just go with Aliyah. And it just happened to work out. 2. Is your relationship with your parents better after having the baby or the same as before? It's way better now that she's actually here, because when I was pregnant, it was just bad. We did not like each other at all, and it was just, there was so much tension between us because of me getting pregnant at the age of 14. So it was just really hard. But now that she's like actually here, like, their just whole mindset has changed and everything's way different now. Were you getting bashed in school for being pregnant? No, I wasn't getting bashed, but like nobody, like, you know how people, they're nice to you when they're face to face, but when they leave, they go talk to other people and they talk bad about you, but they never want to say anything to your face. So no, I wasn't getting bashed, but so many people was talking about how I got pregnant at 14. Like, mind your business, mind your business, mind your business. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? 10 years, I see myself obviously moving out of the house, graduated, in my own house with Aliyah, maybe a couple more children, maybe a fiance if I'm not already married. And I plan to make money off of YouTube. How bad were your punishments when you got pregnant? Well, I had my phone taken away for over a year. I wasn't allowed to go outside. I wasn't allowed to see anybody. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I literally stayed in the house. In the whole summer, the whole entire summer, I stayed in the house. It was so boring. There wasn't really anything that they could do to me because I'm pregnant. But like, besides take away all my privileges, yeah. And the fact that, like, it wasn't just the punishments though. It was like the way that they acted towards me, the things that they said about me, even in front of my face. It was just too much. And then I ended up running away. But that's another story for another time. Did you have to set boundaries between your parents and her since she's not theirs? I've tried to before. I've tried to set boundaries. I've tried to say, hey, I'd rather her do this, or I'd rather her be in this, or I'd rather da 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 da. And it was always like, oh, but you live in under our house and we buy the stuff for her and we do this and we do that. But what do? And so when it comes to me setting boundaries between my parents and Aliyah, it really doesn't work out because they always rub that part of my face, how I'm still living under their roof and they pay for everything. So yeah, I've tried, but obviously it's just, I just never win. I never do. Will her dad ever be in her life? Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say that he's never going to be in her life because, like, I don't think that's true. Just as of right now, he's not in her life, and I think that's the best right now. But when Aliyah gets to that certain age, if he has not already been in her life, he will, because she's gonna get very curious and she's going to want to know who her father is and all this other stuff. So we'll just have to see where it goes. But for right now, he's not in her life. Are you going to consider homeschooling so you can be at home with Aliyah? I've already tried to consider homeschooling. After I left the hospital, the school gives you a chance to stay home for 6 weeks and do homeschooling. Well, 6 to 8 weeks, depending on, like, if you had a regular birth or a C-section. So I stayed home after I came back from the hospital for 6 weeks. And I did homeschooling, and they gave me the decision to continue homeschooling. So I asked my mom, and of course she said no. She's like, no, I want you to continue to go to school. I want you to actually go there and be with the other kids. And she just kept saying all this stuff, how, like, I'm not going to be interacting with anybody. She just had all these excuses. She still talks about how, like, she's tired of watching Aliyah. Like, sometimes when I come home, she's just like, here, take her, I'm done. But she's the one who wanted me to go to school when I could have been homeschooled watching Aliyah myself. But no, she knows everything. How did your parents feel when you were pregnant? Whoo, they were so mad at me. There was a whole bunch of tears, a whole bunch of yelling, a whole bunch of this and that, arguing. Yeah, I did run away because I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. Like, you're probably like, oh, why'd you run away? But no, like, when you feel how I felt, I could not take it anymore. I was so determined to leave that house, and so I did. I left that house. And then before that, I was taken to the police station after I had got caught lying about whether or not the baby father came into the house. So my parents took me to the police station. I told the police I did not want to go home, but of course my parents made me go home anyways. They was just, me and my parents, we didn't even have a relationship during that whole 9 months, even about a year, because even sometime after Aliyah was born, there was still tension between us and we still weren't talking to each other as much. But it's way better now. How old is Aliyah? She is 11 months and her birthday is November 28th. Which falls on Thanksgiving this year, so she's going to be 1 year old this month. While you were pregnant, did people ever say mean things to you? No, like I said before, people don't like to say how they feel or what they mean to your face, but as soon as you turn around and walk away, they're talking about you behind your back. So, of course, I knew that people were talking about me, but they never wanted to say anything to my face. During your pregnancy, what has been the hardest part except your parents? The sickness, I just couldn't handle it. I would wake up in the morning, didn't drink anything, didn't eat anything, and I would just be throwing up acid. The sickness is the worst part. Like it seems like every day. In the first trimester, like every day you wake up, you're just throwing up. For me, it got better. Like, a lot of sickness during the first trimester, a little bit in the second trimester, and third trimester, I didn't have any at all. Do you ever get regrets of keeping Aliyah? Of course not. If I wouldn't have kept her, if I would have gave her up for adoption, I would have regretted that decision for the rest of my life. No, I don't regret, keeping Aliyah. Sometimes she gets on my nerves and she doesn't listen and she's so hard-headed. But I would keep it the same. I wouldn't change that. I don't regret it at all. What's your plan for school? My plan is to finish high school and move out. I don't plan on going to college, because if I actually go to college, I'm going to have to continue living with my parents because I have a baby, and I don't want to do that at all. So I'm going to finish high school and get out. Does the baby father care for the baby now? Like, does he want to see and meet her? Yes, he wants to see her so bad. He wants to meet her so bad. Right now, he just sees pictures and videos of her, but he has never seen her in person. We live in 2 different states now because I moved, but he wants to see her really bad. We've been talking about it sometimes. We're not really talking right now. Like, we haven't been communicating with each other that much, but we haven't been arguing either. Like, we used to argue and bicker and go back and forth all the time, but I believe that he's working on towards like earning my trust so that later on in the future he can be able to see her. Was it scary changing your first diaper? It wasn't really scary. It was just like, I was just a little nervous because when babies come out, they're just so tiny and you have to be really, really fragile, and you just have to be really careful and that you don't do anything wrong. So it's not really scary. You just like, it's just nervous because you don't want to mess anything up. You don't want to hurt the baby. You just have to be extra careful because the baby is very fragile. What's Layla's full name? Aliyah's full name is Alayahhamilton. The reason why she doesn't have a middle name is because I was going to give her up for adoption. So me and the adoptive family had agreed that I was going to let them choose the middle name. So I chose the first name and I left the middle name blank, and that's what I put on the birth certificate. But then after I left the hospital, I ended up taking her back. I had already made the decision to put down no middle name. So when I got her back and we went to go get her birth certificate, we tried to add a middle name, but they said that we can't do that unless we add the father onto the birth certificate, which is not going to happen. So she just doesn't have a middle name now, which is sad. Is there anything in your life you wish to change? Not really. Like, as of right now, I can't really think of anything, but like, just maybe just the way that I feel sometimes, because like sometimes after you give birth, you start to feel some type of way and your emotions are just all over the place. But other than that, I don't really have anything in mind right now. What's the most fun part about being a parent? Everything, actually. Like, it's fun to have like a little person. It's fun to have a mini me and to see that mini me like just running around everywhere, and it's like that special bond that you guys have. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just basically everything about being a parent is fun. Sometimes there's not going to be fun parts, obviously, but for the most part, everything about being a parent is fun. Especially like that I had her at 15 years old. I feel like we're going to be closer. Excuse me. And then she's going to be like my best friend. Like, I'm still going to be her mom, but like she's going to be my best friend. As a teen mom, do you get the chance to go out? No. I don't get the chance to go out at all. I wish I did. But no, everywhere I go, it's take Aliyah with you. Oh, you're going here, take Aliyah with you. Even if I'm walking across the yard to go to my cousin's house or go to my aunt's house or something, they're just like, oh, take the baby with you. Da, da, da. So yeah, every time I go somewhere, it's always take the baby with you, which is understandable because she's my child. But sometimes you just want a break. Sometimes you just want a little bit of time off, some time to relax and stuff. But I don't go anywhere because it's hard going somewhere with the baby. always cranky, always crying, especially when the baby doesn't get napped. So I just stay in the house all the time. Did you decide if your daughter's father would be in her life? Yes and no. Like, I already knew that I didn't want him in her life at that moment. It was also my parents' decision. So they were telling me, they were like, oh, if you let him in her life, he's gonna be doing this and that. Because at the time, he was like all over the place. He would get upset over little things. He would lash out. It wasn't good. And I think that I made the right decision to not include him in her life. Do you have a job, and how do you provide for you and your daughter? I do not have a job. So my parents provide everything. They provide all her food, her clothes, everything that she has, they provided. They still provide for me. And I still buy Aliyah stuff. Like, with my money, I still buy her stuff, but I'm not able to provide all of her needs with just the money that I have. So that's kind of like the main reason why I started YouTube, was because I was thinking, well, since I can't go out and physically get a job, hopefully I can do YouTube and maybe start to make money off of this. And if like it works out, I can use the money from YouTube to support Aliyah. So that's why I kind of started YouTube. Did you have everything ready for your daughter before she was born? No, I did not, because like I was gonna give her up for adoption. So we didn't buy anything for her because obviously she wasn't going to live with us. But a couple days later, I decided I wanted her back. Well, I knew in my heart I wanted her back. I just told my parents. Well, I told my mom a couple days later. And before I even said anything to my dad, like, he just went to Walmart and just bought all this stuff. A diaper pail, stroller, car seat base, all this stuff. So that was before I even told him that I wanted her back, because he just knew. Like, I didn't say anything, but he just knew that I was going to keep her the whole time. Do you have arguments and disagreements with your parents about your daughter, like taking you to appointments? Yes. Like, all the time, literally. Especially appointments. Like, usually when my mom or me, we make an appointment, it's in the morning. So, and it'll be like in the morning, and it'll be like on a school day for me. So I would ask my mom, because I'm Aliyah's mother, I would ask my mom if I can go with her to go to Aliyah's appointment. And my mom always says no. She's like, no, you have school. You need to go to school. I'm going to be the one taking her. And so I'm always missing her appointments, which I feel is not fair, because I'm her mom. I feel the need to be there. Like, if I want to be at my daughter's appointments, I feel the need that I should be there. Like, why are you telling me no? Like, why are you telling me I can't be at my own daughter's appointments? And it's not even the appointments. It's like, I can't even tell my own daughter what to wear. Like, I can't even dress her the way I want to dress her. Like, I don't know. Like, my mom, she feels the need to control every aspect of Aliyah's life, but she's not her mom. I'm her mom. And it's just the simple things. Like, if I want Aliyah to wear a specific outfit for one day, my mom will argue with me all the time. And she'll just be like, no, I want her to wear that. Sasha, don't put that on her. And it's just, I just never win ever. So, I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I cannot wait to move out of the house, because I just have no control over anything. Has things gotten better with your baby daddy? Yeah, I mean, we haven't been talking recently, but like, we haven't been arguing either, so I guess you could say that things have gotten better. But as of right now, like, we're not really in contact. Where are you from? I'm from Maryland, but I don't live there anymore because I moved. Do you like your new school? Actually, the school is alright. You know, I get a lot of time in school to actually do my work, and I get better grades than I have before. My first 9 weeks at this new school, I got a 4.0, which is very surprising, because the highest I've ever gotten was like a 3.8. And it was just like, I don't know. It was amazing to see a 4.0 on my paper. The people here are really nice. The lunch is way better than my old school's lunch. So for the most part, yeah, the school's alright. Do your parents complain about helping out with appointments or anything else? They don't really complain about helping her, but I feel as if it always comes back to me, and they always like kind of rub it in my face, like, oh, we're paying for all of her food, and we're paying for this and that, and we're doing this for you. And it's like, if I ask for something, they'll be like, oh, but aren't we paying for all of your daughter's stuff? Aren't we, using our money to get her stuff? They don't complain, but I just feel like it always backfires on me somehow. Those were all of the questions. If you have more, you could just comment or just like go on my social media, DM me or something like that. I hope you like it, and I will be back soon.